dude.
No,
Instead
I
of
was just trying to
all
pin at
good.
you too, so it's like,
How
okay.
are you all today?
Great. How are
Good.
you?
Yeah.
I'm okay, thanks. I love the film, but I first wanted to ask, how did you all get involved with this project and what was the audition process like?
Well, I probably was a little later than you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure like they had well in advance. And I did a session. It was just my team was like they really like you for this role, and and that it's such a cool project to be part of. And I was like, oh, okay, that's the first time I've heard that. And then I had like a director's session, and it's like two little scenes, and from there I think it was like a couple days later, a week later, that I found out that I got to be part of it, and I was so excited. And I got to read the script during the audition too, so that made me so happy. I was like, yes.
And then Jaden, what about you?
For me, I got the script like while I was in the middle of a math exam. So I read it and then I sent a tape in. And then I believe a week later, Rob wanted to have a director session and I met the casting directors and I got to know him a little bit more. And then reading the script was amazing. And then that's when I got a call, like it was like 11 at night. It was the night before my birthday that Rob really liked me for the part and that he wanted to meet. I was 17 at the time, so like he had to speak with my parents to make sure that all the material was like okay, which I'm like obviously it was, but then that's kind of how I got like the part.
That's cool. And Ben?
Yeah, no, I did a self tape for it at first, and I gave myself like a black eye with makeup in the tape, and I like did my hair all big, had my leather jacket on, and then afterwards I saw in the notes like please no makeup or anything like that, and I was like oh well I might have blown that one, so I kind of like put it out of my mind, but also I was like hey I'll redo this, but I'm proud of what I did, so I'm gonna send it, and if you want me to redo it, more than happy to. And then I kind of didn't think about it for a little bit, even though I loved the script. I really wanted to be a part of it, but I was like, oh, maybe I blew it with that whole makeup thing. And then I got hit up that there was going to be a callback, which I was excited for. And that was sort of the scene where I really chew out Simon, and well, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm a little mad at him in that scene. And so I think I had some adrenaline going in, and I really like let him have it in the in the callback, and I think that's kind of what helped secure the part was just yeah, it was an intense callback, and Rob was very complimentary, and then I had a good feeling about it. They said good feedback afterwards. So I was like, okay, let's just like really hope that I'm not delusional and that this is really about to happen. And then I was at my mom's opening night for a play she was at, and I got an email at intermission that I'd booked the part, and I was like freaking out, but I also didn't want to like skew attention or anything like that. So I just kind of like sort of like just like told my stepdad, and I was like, okay, this is crazy, but I'm gonna tell everybody tomorrow. And so yeah, that was a very, very fun night. Great experience.
And Aiden?
Yes. Hey, by the way, I apologize for my phone Zoom. I just had to switch to this. But I hope my
I'm using
sound
my
better.
phone as well.
Yeah, my driving Zoom, I guess. But yeah, I did the tape on Zoom with our casting director Coco. And it was fun. It was like diner scene where I'm like kind of stuffing my face with pancakes and stuff. So I was eating my lunch in the tape and stuffing my face and stuff. And it was a really fun Zoom, and then I think like a week later I heard back that Rob wanted to meet with me on Zoom, thinking I was gonna like read a scene or something, but we ended up just going on a Zoom and kind of just talking and getting to know each other, um, which was awesome. I'd never really done that before, where it was just kind of chatting before booking the role or whatever, and then yeah, and then I think it was like a couple weeks before we got on a plane to go to Calgary and shoot it.
That's amazing. And Nikki, as you don't have as many scenes as the rest of the cast, with the rest of the cast, I was wondering if you got to see them film other scenes or hang out on set.
No, I didn't get to see much of it. I think like I definitely I'm so lucky I got to see like we had a group scenes in general, and I got to see their dynamic and them work together and energy, and I think I learned so much, and I knew that's kind of opened doors for like what I wanted to do in my mind. But I wish I could see everything, but watching it back I was really excited how it turned out. I was like, yeah. Yeah,
That's
I know
great.
they did it.
And how do you all relate to your characters, and also how different are you to your characters?
Mm. I think with me, James is a very edgy film buff, and he was on the water team. He was very passionate about his films. He did not play about the films. As you can see in the movie, there's a lot of corrections and a lot of times that he kind of gets riled up when one of the other guys like just mess it up, or just when we're at a gathering. He likes to be very formal about it. But we definitely share that in common. But I think the difference is I think James is a lot more braver than I am. He makes a few decisions in this film that I think could sometimes be a little like, irrational, but I think to James, he's in the moment and he's just trying to, really make the trip worth it. So I think that's sort of like the comparison between him and I.
That's cool. And Ben, what about you?
That's a great question. I think some of the similarities with me and Tim he's a bit ambiverted, I think, and I think I'm kind of like that too. Like sometimes he's like rather introverted and keeps to himself, and sometimes he really like pops out of his shell and is part of the group. And I've felt that way before, where like sometimes I kind of feel like receding into the walls, and then other times I feel like I'm the life of the party. And so it like really goes back and forth. I think Tim's got that. I think he's got a real sensitive side to him as well that you see a little bit more later in the film. And he's very loyal, and I'd like to think that I'm also very loyal to my friends. Um, but then in terms of difference, like I really am scared of like letting people down and causing like issues for other people. And Tim is like a mess. Like he like he's constantly trying to rock the boat. He likes to provoke a reaction. He likes getting in trouble and causing a little bit of mayhem. And I'm very scared of causing mayhem. So I don't have the nerves to cause mayhem like he does. But also we've got different lived experiences and stuff. But yeah, those are some of the similarities and differences.
And Aidan?
Uh, Not much, to be honest. The only thing, the only thing I can think of is like the jokes being deadpan. When I joke around, I feel like my humor is pretty deadpan and dry. That's kind of what John has too. But John's very much go with the flow, first one down for anything, and I am not that at all. I am the opposite of that. I'm down for things, but I'm not like the first one down. I like have to wait. I'm like, if someone wants to take a plan, I'm like, okay, I'll wait and see if some other people are going. But if I don't want to go something, I'm like, I don't want to go. But yeah, I'd probably say that. I mean, then John's like a massive drinker and stoner, and I'm not
Yeah.
either of those things. But yeah.
And Nikki?
Yeah, I would say like maybe her curiosity. Like I do love to know about people and their interests and things like that. Also probably like not knowing when I'm being too friendly or maybe giving people the wrong idea. Sometimes I tend to be a little naive. I don't, however, have her confidence. She's confident and she's a little more like harsh with things. Like she says it how it is and what she's thinking.
Mhm.
I definitely don't. I'll ramble for hours trying to figure out how the right way to say things. So, yeah. So try
And I
not to
have a
do
bit
that.
of I have a bit of a different question actually. As the film's all to do with teens, I was wondering what your school experience was like. Were you all popular? What outfits and shoes did you wear? And were there any bullies?
Mm.
I went to online school for majority all of my high school. Um,
Oh,
so this was a good experience. I mean, I didn't have any bullies. It was my computer screen. And I didn't have any teachers or anything either. It was all like online booklets and stuff. But in middle school, I was kind of I was a little bit of a outsider or a weirdo dude. I loved like making films, so I would like go and film people. I loved like YouTube stuff at the time, which was all kind of like, you know, going up to random people in public and like pranking them and stuff. So I would do that, and I think people thought I was a weirdo, whatever. But yeah, I mean, yeah. uh,
that's cool. Then what about you?
I was lucky that I got to go to a high school that had a performing arts program built into it. It had like a sort of mini school attached to it, and so there was like a theater program and there was a writing program as well that I was in there. So that was helpful because I got to meet some people who were into similar things to me. So I was very fortunate that I had a good group of friends in high school. When I started, I was kind of like a skater kid. Like I was wearing like a lot of like skateboard clothing and I had this long hair. I cut the hair off in like grade 10 because I wanted to like I thought girls would like that more, and then it turns out they actually don't.
Could you do tricks on the skateboard or not?
I could do a few tricks. I wasn't great because I'm like a little like scared of getting hurt and stuff, but I could like ollie and pop shove and like some of the rudimentary things.
That's
So I was
cool.
maybe a bit more of a filmer, But I loved like skateboard culture and all the clothes and like I loved like memorizing all the skaters that I liked and stuff. So I was pretty into that at the beginning. But yeah, no, I mean, was I popular? I don't know if I was popular. I was at the parties of some of those popular people, but I was kind of friends with some of the people. It was like yeah, I don't know. It was a fun time, but then also I don't know, the parties I was usually very nervous at. I enjoyed like our rap parties for plays and stuff a lot more. Like anything that was inside of the theater bubble felt like very fun and celebratory. When I ventured out, sometimes it was a little scary. But yeah, overall I'm fortunate that I had a mostly good experience in high school, which I know is kind of rare.
That's good.
Mhm.
And Jaylin?
For me, it's really interesting because in middle school, of course, I was that one obnoxious theater kid. But then once I got to high school, I feel like I was kind of all around. There was a time when I had to drop out of school because of filming, but I feel like I was like, I didn't necessarily, how some high schools would have like cliques. I feel like I kind of like to be friends with everyone. I was also the executive producer of like our school AV club, which was like our high school SNL. But it was weird. Like I feel like they would see my face on the morning news every day. I used that to my advantage because I used it to win prom king last year. So it's like I think I think I was just all around. I wasn't necessarily like popular. I wouldn't use that word, but I just could be friends with anyone. And it's like when we filmed this, I was in high school and I'm still in school now. So it's just like, it's an interesting experience.
Mm. And Nikki?
Yeah, high school was, I don't really remember a lot of it. It was pretty rough. Everyone was really nice to me, but I had like only one friend that I'd hang out with or spend time with. Sometimes have lunch with in the bathroom and but half the time also like I just wasn't in the right mindset and I wasn't doing very well. But also I find like sometimes I forget I exist too. Like I love watching and observing, and I think everyone kind of does. Um that sometimes you're like, oh, I exist too. I have to to go to class and do things and not just watch. But yeah, it was I ended up going to prom because I wasn't going to, but I'm glad I tried for like good 5 minutes. And so yeah, I
At
had
least
some
you tried.
at least I tried, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.
And can any of you share a funny blooper memory or deleted scene from set?
Mhm.
I'm thinking of ones that Aiden had because he had so much improv to do. There's a little scene where he's got some punch and he's like swirling it like wine and stuff.
Oh
And
my
I don't want
gosh.
to steal Aiden's material here, but like when I'm just thinking of things that didn't end up in the movie that I loved, I just want to like compliment him. There's like this one bit that where he was talking about how what he wants to do when he grows up is be like an airline. He wanted to be the guy with the orange wands at an airport that points where the planes go. And then she's like, "Oh, like a pilot." He's like, "No, no, no. That's way too scary for me. Like, I just want to be the guy on the ground who's like pointing with the orange things." And that had me cracking up, and I want to see that in a blooper reel or something, or like just the deleted scenes. But that was really funny.
Thanks, bro.
Fingers
Of
crossed.
course, dude.
So good.
That was yeah. That whole thing, we did like a bunch of improv for that scene with Jade, and it was really fun. There was a lot of stuff that got cut, and there's only like a few moments in that. But yeah, I'm gonna take that answer and not have to think about it. Thanks, Ben.
Tried to set you
And
up, man. It was great.
So funny.
anyone
Um,
else or not?
For me, I think the blooper, or like at least behind the scenes, was me trying to figure out how to kiss because on that set is where I actually had my first kiss.
Let's
So,
go.
like, I didn't know what to do. We had like an intimacy coordinator, so I'm just like, how does this work? What do we do? So it's like just that whole day was just hilarious because I'm just like, what is this? Like, what am I doing? But it was very memorable.
And Nikki?
Yeah, for me, I think the rain machine was really, really cool. The fake rain and drying in between, and I always think it's funny too. There was like coyotes that sounded like they were screaming in the distance. In between, it was like I think it was like 3 a.m. So it was late, and it was kind of it was fun. It was very fun. Yeah, so I'm
That's
glad I got little experiences to watch.
And so that sort of leads into my next question, actually. Um, I was wondering if you're okay sharing, how do you all get comfortable filming romantic scenes or kiss scenes with co-stars?
We as I said in the previous answer, we had an intimacy coordinator on set, which is she was just so amazing, and I think she made both me and Kaya Coleman, who plays the love interest kind of, but she made us she made us feel very comfortable, and she talked us through everything. She was like, "Do you guys want to rehearse this? Like, are you guys okay?" I think there was just a lot of support. um we were given mouthwash, like the mouthwash that like the orthodontist used to like kill all the bacteria. Like, I think overall it was just a great support system.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like intimacy coordinator. That was like my first time working with one, and it was awesome. They made sure that we were super comfortable, and that we weren't doing anything. Obviously what's in the script is in the script, but even when we get onto set, like the intimacy coordinators, like making sure that we're comfortable with everything that's written down. And if we weren't, it's like, I feel like she makes you feel like, you don't have to do it, because obviously you shouldn't have to do it if you're not comfortable. So I think it's super important to have an intimacy coordinator on set when you're doing scenes like that.
That's cool. And did you all get to help pick your outfits and shoes for this film?
That's a good question. I think mostly the costume designer picked them out, but I think was definitely like open to hearing our thoughts. Like I remember she shared like a mood board that was really well done with us of like the vibe she was thinking, wanted to have a phone call, wanted to engage with us in terms of like if we were liking the way that it was headed and everything. And I was thrilled. They made such cool stuff for me. Like the band tees that I wear are like made specifically for this film. I got to keep the boots, the Doc Marten boots that I wore, which are just like
That's
awesome.
amazing.
So I had no complaints. I was really thrilled. Like I got to keep a lot of the items, which I've never gotten to before. They never let you keep stuff. So I was very stoked that they let us keep a lot of the stuff, but I didn't help design it. I let them do that, but they crushed it.
And what
Yeah.
about the rest of you?
As Ben was saying, like they had these cool mood boards, and I know for me personally, the day I actually got up to Canada to film, they sent me straight to the barbershop, and I was there with the hairstylist, Megan and Constance, and they showing me like a scrapbook of different hairstyles and asked which one I wanted to try. So I'm just like, these are all good. And then we all came to the decision that it was gonna be like this cool little like high top fade that was really spiky. So I think, as Ben was saying, they were very open to hearing our thoughts, and I think that was one thing that I really did admire about the crew on this project.
And Nikki, what about you? Did you get to keep
Yeah.
anything?
No, I don't believe so. I was there for kind of just a quick fun role. But it was so exciting. I remember immediately getting to see like trying on outfits for the fitting, and I was like, can I see all their wardrobe? Like all like everyone's wardrobe. And so I got to see a few before I guess before filming. So that was really cool, but it takes you like it immediately makes you feel so back in time or yeah, so it was really fun. Yeah, and I don't have a very good fashion sense, so I always would let let anyone lead the way, but very open. Yeah.
And Aidan?
Yeah, I took the jean jacket that I wear in some of the
Oh,
movies.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's I think I had a little input on my stuff, which was cool. We did get nice mood boards before we got there. Got to see, yeah, got in. We were trying stuff on what worked, seeing what didn't work, and yeah, I got to keep.
I think he's disconnected a bit.
Yeah, I think it's a little frozen for
So
him.
it's not just me.
Yeah, no, it's not just
I was
you.
like trying to go along, like, yeah.
You back there, Aiden?
I'm back. Did it break up?
Okay.
There he
Yeah, we
is.
lost some of that.
I agree with whatever anyone else is saying.
Okay, not to worry.
I know
Well,
that Aiden got to wear his real life glasses in the movie, so that's one
that's
thing
cool.
in terms of the wardrobe that,
Yes.
he
Yeah.
was able to input was that he got to wear his real glasses, I believe.
That's epic. Well, thank you all for chatting with me. I love chatting with you. Congratulations on the film, and I hope to chat with you all again in the future.
Thank you so
Same here,
much. It was so
Daniel.
nice
Thanks so
meeting
much for
you.
having
Having
us.
Thank you
It was
so
nice
much.
meeting you as well. Bye.
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 Bye. Have a good day.